Have you ever felt endlessly tired, but no amount of sleep seems to lift your spirit? Well, this is the essence of emotional exhaustion. It's kind of like a heavy coat that settles over your mind and heart, making even the simplest of tasks seem monumental. And while a restful night's sleep can rejuvenate your body, it often does little to alleviate the deeper emotional fatigue that might be wearing you thin. Let's explore what leads to that pervasive state of being and the impact that it has on both your physical and your mental health, and how you can begin to tailor a response that better fits your evolving self. Emotional exhaustion can often feel like this invisible burden. You might find yourself drained due to various stressors, pressures at work, family obligations, or even internal battles with self-doubt. And unlike physical fatigue, which can be remedied with sleep and relaxation, emotional fatigue requires a different sort of care and attention. It's an indicator that your emotional wardrobe may need a serious audit. When unaddressed, emotional exhaustion can demand a toll on both your physical and your mental health. Symptoms may manifest in a lot of different ways: chronic fatigue, irritability, anxiety, even physical ailments like headaches or digestive issues. Your mental resilience may feel like a fraying seam, threatening to unravel entirely if you don't properly tailor and reinforce it. We often think of our emotional state as this fixed entity, but in reality, it's a fluid fabric composed of a lot of different threads: experiences, emotions, relationships. And emotional exhaustion calls for a thorough examination. Are there threads that are pulling too tightly, creating stress? Perhaps some have become worn and outmoded, hindering your growth. Recognizing these patterns can be the first step toward refining your emotional wardrobe. So, just like a talented tailor can adjust a garment to fit you right, you too can restyle your responses to emotional fatigue. Here's a few practical steps to help you do this. First, identify the triggers. Take note of what situations or interactions that seem to drain your emotional energy. Awareness is the first step in editing your environment. Next, set boundaries. Just as you wouldn't wear clothes that are two sizes too small, don't allow your emotions or obligations that no longer suit you to just hang around in your closet. Clear boundaries and create space for your mental well being. Next, seek connection. Reach out to those in your life that uplift you. Social support is like layering textures. It adds depth and strengthens your emotional resilience. And finally, prioritize your self-care. Allow yourself to rest and indulge in activities that bring you joy. Reading, nature walks, journaling, even doing nothing sometimes can be incredibly restorative. So think of these as like putting on your favorite outfit. It should feel like a hug. Emotional regulation is like the lining in a finely tailored coat. It provides structure and enhances your overall experience, keeps you warm and protected from the chills of emotional exhaustion. Developing emotional regulation skills can create a much more customized fit in dealing with life's ups and downs. Techniques such as mindfulness or meditation, deep breathing, or even creative expression through art or writing can help you strengthen and build up this really necessary protective layer. And as you practice emotional regulation, you might find that your responses to stressors become more measured, and more reflective, more effective. This leads to stronger, more resilient emotional frameworks, much like that well-fitted garment that supports you through your daily activities. You know, life is a series of seasons, each requiring a wardrobe adjustment. Growth doesn't have to be dramatic. It's often subtle and requires only a few thoughtful changes so that you can feel more aligned with who you're becoming. Reflect on what you really value and consider what in your emotional wardrobe aligns with those values. Are there pieces that can be polished or tailored or removed entirely? Letting go of outdated beliefs or fears isn't only an act of self-preservation. It's a way to create space for new opportunities and experiences. This is where emotional freedom begins, a gentle process of shedding layers that don't fit you anymore. And it's essential to remember that our emotional states are deeply intertwined with our physical health. When you experience emotional exhaustion, your body may react in ways that amplify discomfort or exacerbate any existing conditions that you already have. And this highlights the significance of addressing both emotional and physical well-being in tandem with each other. In crafting a holistic approach to self-care, consider activities that nourish both the mind and the body. Gentle stretching, yoga, mindful walking, all of these things can be remarkably effective in breaking the cycle of fatigue and helping you reconnect with your physical state. So now that you've identified some areas for refinement, it's time to create a personalized action plan. It needs to be tailored to your individual needs. Do some daily check-ins. If you guys haven't set up an account at yourmindstylist.com, your portal, when you do so, has a daily emotional check-in, has a place to keep some notes about what's going on, and some tips and tricks for you. Set aside a few moments each day, it doesn't have to be hours, just to assess your emotional state. Journaling or reflection can help you discover some deeper insights. Then make some weekly adjustments. Review your boundaries, your commitments, and your emotional responses on a regular weekly basis. Because tailoring, it's an ongoing process, and you have to stay in tune with what needs changes. Then develop a support network. These are individuals that uplift you and are willing to maintain regular communication. This supportive fabric can help prevent feelings of isolation. And finally, set up a self-care ritual. Create a daily or weekly ritual that nurture both your mind and your body. Even simple acts of kindness can really have a significant impact, especially when you practice them for yourself. So here's a gentle invitation to start restyling. Emotional exhaustion is not a life sentence. It's a signal that your inner world might need some thoughtful tailoring. By acknowledging the intricate connections between your emotions and your physical health, you can begin to refine the fit of your entire emotional wardrobe. You don't need to revolutionize your whole life. Instead, take small, deliberate steps to adjust how you meet your emotional challenges. And by doing so, you'll not only emerge more resilient, but also you'll become more attuned to who you're becoming. So let's restyle this together, gently and intentionally, because your well-being deserves a wardrobe that fits. Are you ready to begin the process of refinement? I'm Roberta Fernandez, your mind stylist.